Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another casted game. We're on the 1 versus 1 ranked quick search ladder, and we found ourselves a game today between Chefsudiste and Tabben. The map is Tassili, spawning to the northwest of the map in the colour blue. Playing as the Portuguese, it is the Chef. Opponents today playing as the Germans, spawning down to the southeast of the map in the colour red. It is Tabben. Tabben is being on a bit of a warpath recently, really strong. Sitting at a very healthy 2250 elo, slightly edging Chefsudiste at the moment, who's been kind of the man on the ladder, spamming the one sieve. That is the Portuguese. And some say it's a broken sieve, some say it's just a good sieve which can be countered. Be interesting to see how Tabben wants to go about this. I think this matchup, it probably is German favoured, but on this map, just look at German's options. It's narrow, coin mines are wide, resources are low, and might be quite easy for Portuguese to lock down the middle of the map with 4 town centres and maybe other buildings. I know that the Chef is not a fan of the fort card in the third age. I think it's a great cheeky little card there for the Portuguese. Yeah. I know that Swisher Guts is a very aggressive Portuguese player, and Chef is kind of, he dabbles between the two. And one thing I've noticed again here is that Chef has gone for a house, no trading post in H1. He's not actually that desperate for shipments. I think he's just looking for the treasures, for the resources, for the momentum which will get him into the next age as fast as possible and into the third age. Big Tabben though, he senses his opponent is nearby and going to go for a treasure contention. The Chef is at much lower HP and aggro at the moment, has to commit to the treasure, and I think whatever happens, that Portuguese explorer is now going to die. Tabben's got it. He's turned around so quick, and he's got the snare from the Portuguese explorer. Chef should have cut his losses and got away. There's no way that is getting back alive, unfortunately, and Tabben will feel very happy with how that is started. Going for a 16 vil age up as well. Mark it down with the buy-sell trick. That's the market for the early hunting dogs, and that's allowed him to get a really good time. Other shipments of other treasures that Tabben has got so far is wood, a bit of XP. Yeah, so quite a lot of XP. That 2 settler wagon shipment will come in nice and early. Bit of wood to help the house as well. So all of that has aided Tabben in a really fast age 1. This means he's earlier on to the wood and transition, early get the trading post. And actually, you see what Tabben's done. He's realised that if he can get an earlier trading post, it's probably more beneficial to him for the extra passive experience than it is to try and kill Portuguese explorer for just a measly 45. I think actually it might be a little bit of a tactical move. I think the trading post probably gives around that much XP as well. But the difference between catching this Travois and not, due to chasing your opponent around the map, be big. 64 per pass. So yeah, if Tabben chases Explorer all the way back into base, there might be an opportunity of missing a trader, and that Chef would have been revived later on. So yeah, minor details. Chef picking up a little bit of coin, but Tabben's just going to stroll into this treasure. There's no real way that Chef can contest on his low HP, and I think Chef's looking for his own trading post too. Yeah, chopping transition. Somewhat surprised, no market. I feel that at this point, if you're chopping for extra stuff, the market will pay off with all the extra food technologies. TP goes down. Cow's been eaten straight away. Get that food into the stockpile. Get the coin crates gathered as fast as possible, and ideally, as soon as the coin crate's been gathered, you are aging up to the next stage, which I think is a possibility. Oh, yeah, it probably is more of a possibility for that than, you know, get a market and try and get hunting dogs and maybe other techs. Yeah, cow's been eaten. Got 5 vils. Gathering up the coin crates. Probably the fastest to gather them up will be 7. 5 on the big crate. 1 on the little crates each. You can see, you know, he's only about 100 food away. That cow will provide a decent amount. Hunts as well, natural, bit of Fator action. The Egypt's now in. 2 Ulans going for the raid. TC will push away. Unfortunately, the TC is neither here nor there, and these villagers can't get into this second town centre to offer that second helping of defensive fire. Explorer gets killed for 45 XP, quite nice. 700 wood does come in here from the chef. I'm sure that chef will probably drop down a stable and play dragoons. I think dragoons is the flavour of the day for the Portuguese at the moment. Maybe if it is better or not, but it's a bit of a meme how Portuguese can play these games with just a single unit type of dragoons and just. I think the idea behind it works. The best thing about dragoons, if you don't want to take a fight, you don't have to. You can just run away, and that mobility is so prized and don't often quite get caught out as you do if you went early Castadors. We're aging slow with the Shotel Warriors. The stable does come down. Looking into that dragoon play, I'm sure the market, 3 houses, hunting dog, steel traps, that residual wood trickle from the TC from Fatoras will also be working as well. Meanwhile, Tabben has gone for the most horrendously placed stable ever. Pathing in between the stable and the TC non-existent. It's going to be hard to move your settler wagons around onto the wood crates. The Egypt has come in though. He's gone for 2 settler wagons, 3 settler wagons, 700 wood. Not gone for coin, but kind of gone for a greedy eco play in the sense of he's got away with such a great shipment, but aging up in good time. Wage up fast, and both players will be into the next stage at the same time. 3 Ulans looking to catch the covered wagon, but the Elite Shotel Warriors will push back the Ulans. No questions asked there. Actually, probably 3 Ulans probably could beat down these Shotels. They do have, a high rate of attack, but all things considered, then it's probably about the same amount of cav. I think a lot of people think these units are much better than they actually are. I don't think they are that good. And only 5 of them. It's definitely worse than aging up with the 4 Delhis as Ottoman as a clear-cut example. Definitely worse. Third town centre does come down, but Tabben is sending in 1,000 coin, and does this look like he's going to go for a 4th age? A fast industrial with the Germans? Something you don't often see. I think all things are pointing towards this. He's not trained any war wagons yet. He'll stage 3. I think that'll be the unit choice. Good all-rounder, nice range, outranged dragoons, spends all that food. Pretty much the only unit that Germany has where the food is as equal price as the coin. So it's a nice little bit of a macro solver. He's also not spamming extra houses, or he does have 2 trading posts as well, so that's extra income. That was added on the 700 wood. And the coin comes in. Settler wagon will gather this. A couple of settler wagons. These are very efficient at gathering crates. It's like 2.5 villagers worth of crate gathering. Villagers gather crates at 8 resources per second. Settler wagons, they do it at 20 resources per second in batches of 50, so it's really efficient. They've hoovered those up pretty quickly. Go to the 4th age. Age 3, Cav coming behind. I would like to probably see... Gangsword is coming in. I'm not too sure any real need for blunderbuss. I like the greatcoats. I really think you'll be wanting to do any sort of fighting with villagers in this matchup. The only thing I can say though is that Age 4 Germany just doesn't hit that hard. It's not a build order. It's not a strategy which I get excited by. I think the shipments, or the lack of shipments due to the XP penalty that Germany have, is a bit of a pinch point there. And yeah, you can get stuff like factories down, heavy cannons, and yes, you do have a 13 Ulan card, which is itself, yeah, it's 9 plus 4 Ulans, and then the 9 Ulans themselves are nowhere near worth 1,600 resources. So as a card goes, it's not a good card. 12 skirm. Well, yeah, 12 skirm plus 4 Ulans, that's a pretty decent card. The 7-winged Huss is an interesting one, actually, because... Yeah, no, it probably is actually really good, isn't it? 300 res, 350 res per unit. 7 of those, that is going to be 2,100 plus the guard technology. So yeah, that is a great card. That is a must-have in your decks for the time being. Back in RE, it was 12 guard Hussars, I think. It was even nuttier. It was so good. It was way too good. But the war wagons will push us away, and Chef has got to the 4th age as well, and it's going to be a bit of a Dragoon Guard war wagon spam, I assume. Balance haven't got much of a say into this matchup at the moment, and what Chef has done really well. The entire food economy of Portuguese is well tucked up in these buildings. There's no other food nearby, only on the eastern side of the map, which Germany will be looking to expand to. At some point, Germany should really be thinking about getting a second town centre. You'll be very, very quickly left behind against Portuguese if you don't attempt to try and keep up some sort of scaling. So Tabben has got the heavy cannons on the field. But I go for the winged Hussars, going for a timing. I go for units and units and units. Meanwhile, Chef is going to go for a 5-organ gun shipment. 2 heavy cannons is probably better than 5 organs, considering how flimsy these units are. They're easy to pick up and easy to kill, especially with age 4 Dragoon style units. Maybe, you know, heavy cannons will get probably, well, they'll one-shot an organ, but with the splash they might even get a couple more. I think maybe Chef is looking into getting early grape shots. Hasn't quite got the artillery foundry yet for the Rebold upgrade. I'm kind of surprised that both players haven't quite gone for Mercantilism. We're early in the game. Mercantilism would give so much XP and real strong shipment progression. Tabben can have an extra 2 factories and 8 hands on the field right now. Be paid for that upgrade. It's expensive, but it really is worth it. Especially you consider how much resources you get back from the factories being on the floor 3, 4, 5 minutes earlier. If it's 7 res per second, roughly, on the upgrade. 70 res per 10. 420 per minute. You only need like 3 minutes, 4 minutes to get your Mercantilism back. But then you get that other factory in earlier as well, so very, very, very good. Shipment in, he's going to go for the 12 skirm. That's a good shipment here. He needs to deal with the Dragoon somehow. And the heavy cannons and all these war wagons should be enough. But if I'm Tabben, I would be doing everything in my power to get a guard war wagon. I think that's a very good upgrade. It's only 600. 30% combat for your best units. Chunky ranged Dragoon cavalry. Very nice. Playing nice and slow and steady though. Heavy cannons have been scouted out from the Chef, and I'm surprised if he wants to. I'm surprised he hasn't dropped an artillery foundry and tried to kind of defend it with culverins. At the moment, he's kind of still trying to get villager production going. Hasn't got the artillery foundry for culverins. Also hasn't got shipments to send in heavy cannons, but he has sent in order of a viz for 16 ranged dragoons. Just needs the arsenal now for ranged cavalry caracol to get +2 range for +18, well, or just for 18 range. Can't have a negative range. But Dragoon artillery is an absolute favourite composition of the Chef. Very strong as well. Quite expensive to upgrade is to Legion Goons, 850, 850. So worth it. Best Dragoons in the game for Portugal. And you know they're good once you have a bunch and they can one-shot a villager. But Germany's pushing in. The heavy cavalry diving in, and with the Dragoons on the other side of the map, there's no threat. But look at the villagers on the back line. Have faith, Tabben. Believe in yourself. Dive deep. Go. Oh, the organ guns. The organ guns are exposed as well. He sees a couple of vills. Dragoons will come in. Heavy cav will back off. But he's still got the heavy cannons to kind of reinforce. Organ guns diving in, but they're waiting for the opportunity to strike. these heavy cannons got an opportunity to actually pick off many of these distance. Okay, Tabben's just diving in. Heavy cav just diving in. War wagons killing off the Showtails, trying to dive in onto the heavy cannons, but they're so tanky. You're going to need a huge amount of bit of a blunder there if they're going to get on and kill. But I'm just seeing so many Dragoons dying to the war wagons. Heavy cannons getting a shot now onto the Dragoons, blocking the organ guns. The organ guns are still alive, but versus cavalry, they don't do much damage, and most of the army here was cavalry. Skirms held behind, and Tabben with double military play or triple military shipments, just overwhelming Chef's army. Lock on, lock on, lock on! Oh, jeez! How far was that shot there? Oh, I'd feel so upset if I was Chef there. One organ gun still alive, though. Gotta be careful. That will get. Oh god, it's murdering the skirms. It's still alive, but the another long one. It's, through the sand dune as well. You kind of forget how elevated some of these maps are when you get up and close. But yes, Dragoon goes down. Villagers under pressure. TC under pressure too. Chef sending in 2 heavy cannons himself. I think if Chef had 2 heavy cannons out of the instead of the 5 organs, he'd been fine. But in the end, he wasn't. Neither player managed to get guard goon, guard war wagon. And Tabben had enough of an army there to get the victory early in the 4th age, just committing to the FI straight away and seeing the power of the Polish winged Hussars tied in with the heavy cannons, tanking so much damage and just kind of distracting the goons away from trying to pin out the war wagons. They were the damage dealers in the end. Heavy cannons were just putting pressure on the organ guns, but even though at this point, heavy cannon with no negative damage versus cavalry or a smaller multiplier, Dragoons were flying too as a result. Decent damage there. The organ guns were a tactical mistake there for Chef. Maybe he was expecting Tabben stage 3, go racks, go for a stable, get a large mass of skirmishes out to kind of destroy them, but that wasn't the plan from Tabben. He had an idea, and in the end as well, first factory in, only factory in, I think, as well. But the follow-up there would have been pretty good with the economy. And taking a victory off the Chef on a map which I would have thought would not been playing to your strength. Quite impressive, gotta say. Chef's point of view, I'm not sold on the delay in your Age 1 trading post that long, especially considering how close the TP is to your starting position. And the fact that you have your, what is it, spyglass to look around the map for treasures while your explorer is stationary back in base. But apart from that, I thought the rest of the kind of base layout defensive structure was okay. I just think the 4th age cards there from Chef were not the greatest of picks. He did in the end have grape shot on those organ guns, but versus full cavalry army, not ideal. No factories in the end, no advanced fortifications, which could have been a nice cheeky way to try and have some sort of resistance versus this push from Tabben. But it is what it is, and Tabben gets the game. I enjoyed that one, guys. I hope you enjoyed it too. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.